Good morning, all of my amazing, brilliant, kick ass kings and queens. To all my badass warriors out there on a Monday, keep on staying the course. Keep on staying the course in making the plan happen, your plan. I uh, I had the privilege of being in a board meeting once. And the CEOs, because there were two-ish kind of people in this role. Sometimes that's what happens. We have multi-levels of owner, vice president, director, all all with their hands in the plan. And the plan, an expansive plan, Spirit corrected me there, an expansive plan allows for each and every teeny tiny person. Again, Spirit's showing me a web with bugs. Okay. So I want you to imagine a web with a whole bunch of bugs on it. You are the bugs. Okay. And there is a web weaver of this plan. And the web weaver is the great one. Some call this creator, others call it God, universe, source, Gus, the creator of all things, the web designer of all things. Okay. So now you think of web design. I'm like, okay, I got you. I know where Spirit's going with this. The web designer of life. Okay. Think of the World Wide Web. Think how big that is. And whoever designed that, it wasn't one person. Okay, it wasn't one person. That group of people at one time or not were told that they shouldn't do anything other than the plan. So tracking back to the owner, VP, director, the whole slew of people in charge that don't necessarily hear your suggestions. They aren't willing to implement what it is that you want to do because they got a plan. Makes total sense, right? And the plan that you have may be a much more creative plan than those who are in charge of the chariot, the corporate chariot. Okay. So you go every day because you got to make money, right? You got to pay the bills. And you keep on diluting your dream, putting it on the back burner, back burner, back burner. Because you should really ensure that everything that you've been warned about is taken care of. Okay. So you should make sure the bills are paid on time. You should make sure that your mortgage is paid off before the age of 35. You should never, ever, ever go to a business meeting in anything other than extremely proper business like attire. Okay. The should. Should is shame. So when I'm listening to conversations, I often hear key words should, can't. I can't possibly begin a creative project while I'm working full time. I began doing what it is that I was doing many times while I was working full time in corporate. I began really digging into tarot cards when I was working full time in corporate. Once during the great lockdowns when we were all sent to our rooms and told you can't come out until you're ready to behave. Another time when I was working in a very um, entry level position. And it was because I wasn't in the place that I needed to be in my, I was stuck doing the things that I didn't want to do. And because I was stuck doing the things I didn't want to do, I often escaped by doing the things I wanted to do. So I would be dreaming about tarot cards while I was working. I'd talk to my girlfriends at work about tarot cards, and then at lunchtime, I'd pull out my cards. I was having fun, even though I shouldn't. Someone else's rules and regulations for you, do they resonate with what it is that's going on in your life? Question. When I do tarot cards readings, the person that's asking me to do a reading is called the querent. They're the person with the question. And through divination and the playing cards that I use, they were once playing cards and they became tarot cards and then they became oracle cards and all that cool evolution. I am able to give some clarity. Some. I want to pull a few cards this morning. Let me grab my faves. Because there's a beauty in understanding the shoulds, the can'ts, the don'ts, the option. It's almost like we're constantly bombarded by this party. So it's like the parliament. I'm from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. So being in Canada, I understand the parliamentary proceedings, the ones that argue back and forth. And you will have people arguing in your life about what is right and what is not right, what is right, what is left, what is in the middle. What matters most is that you understand what it is that you want. Once you gain clarity about what it is that you want, then you can break through all of the challenges that come your way, the doubt, the self-sabotage, all that. Pulling one card from the Getting into the Vortex deck. Getting into the Vortex is a beautiful deck that explains the power of the law of attraction, the power of the emotions, the teachings of Abraham. I have the power to direct my own thoughts. See how Spirit's tuning in and tapping in with what I'm saying? It's as though we're on the same frequency. The radio dial's been tuned in. Whoop, click, there you go. Your thoughts do create the reality that you live. And one of the most exciting things about being, the process of deliberately focused thoughts. Okay, so, and one of the most exciting things about being the process of deliberately focused thoughts is the law of attraction will bring you evidence of your improved thoughts immediately. And while old patterns may be hard to break, and you may slip back into old patterns from time to time, evidence of your evidence of your effort will be undeniable to you. And before long, with much less effort than you spend trying to dodge negative conversations or train other into better behavior, all of your relationships will improve, starting with the relationship between you and you. That is so important. Once you understand the relationship between you and you, that's the one that matters. Then all the other relationships will become a reflection of that. So I've said many times that I wake up in the morning deciding how I want to be for the day. And then my doing is part of my being. I'm going to pull a card from the Inner Child Oracle deck. This is the deck that has Benny Bunny. And Benny Bunny is a sweet character. Benny Bunny reminds me of stories that I read to my children. Oh, love those stories. Story time. I love myself exactly as I'm self-love. That's what I'm talking about. Self-love. If being in a place of self-love, how much of your day will you should yourself? If you're being in a place of self-love, how many times in a day will you come back to being kind to yourself. Benny loves to cuddle up with his teddy after a big day. When he's down and feeling lonely, a big hug from Benny the teddy always makes him feel better. When you look at yourself in the mirror, do you see a soul deserving of love? It's easier than we might expect to fall into reflex patterns of negativity and self criticism, where every success is brushed aside and every mistake is taken as further proof of inadequacy. When nothing we do is good enough, it doesn't take long for our self perception to warp, for us to feel as though we are not enough. This card asks you to be kinder to yourself, to treat yourself with the generosity and love you afford others. When you're being self critical, ask whether you would speak that way to someone you care about. Treat yourself as you would a precious loved one. You are unique in so many ways and deserve to be loved by the person closest to you. You. Remember, you are not made unworthy of love by your actions or interactions. Who we are is already enough. We are worthy of restorative rest, connection, and the blessings that come with being alive simply because we exist. Give yourself a big hug. You deserve it. I am worthy of adoration and respect. I love myself exactly as I am. Beautiful message. I hope that something that I have said today will inspire you. It's a good day for a good day. I'm Nancy Nance. I am Exponential Joy. I'm hoping that on October 10th, if you're in Edmonton, Alberta, you will take the time to come to Womanition. I'm hoping that on November 1st, if you're in Calgary, you will take the time to come to Womanition. I will be speaking up once. I will see you on July 30th August 30th in Saskatoon. I will be speaking at Saskatoon's Battle Through Recovery. I will be speaking on September 13th in Kenora, Ontario, at Kenora's Battle Through Recovery. Peace out, my friends. Love you to moon and back. Share this out. Maybe it'll resonate with someone else.